Okay, so last week we introduced solving systems by graphing. And we went ahead and graphed two equations. And sometimes we had to do a little work. And today is going to just be more of the same. So it's kind of a refresher. Okay, so for this equation, if you remember, when we put things in slope-intercept form, y equals m times x plus b, right? And m is my slope, and b is my y-intercept. Right? Okay, so that is important information. Knowing that this is slope-intercept form, knowing that m represents my slope, my rise over run, and knowing that b is my y-intercept, or where my line is going to cross that y-axis. Okay? Super important. So if I'm looking at this equation here, what is my slope? What does m equal? Looking at this equation here, what does m equal? 5 over 2. Okay? It's very specific. It's right in front of the x. Don't just guess every number. Okay? Tell me exactly what's in front of the x. And what is my b? What does b equal? b equals -4. Okay? What about this equation now? What does m equal? What is it, Eddie? -3 over 2.
B is equal 4.
And b equals 4. Good, Amen. Okay, so I can graph these two, right? So I want us to go ahead and flip our papers over and make sure that the y is on the top. And we're going to number these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There's only 10 problems today. And then we're going to focus on number 1. Now, it's going to take some flipping back and forth. So for 1, I have m equals 5 over 2, b is -4. And then I also have m equals -3 over 2. And b equals 4, right? That makes sense? I just took what I had from the front side and put it over here so I don't have to be flipping back and forth. And then I'm going to graph them. Okay? So for my first one, what is my starting point going to be? -4. So from 0, on my y-axis, I'm going to find -4, and I'm going to put a point there. Let's see if I can make it bigger. There's my -4. And my slope is positive 5 over 2. So I'm going to go up 4, right? Because 5 is positive. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then right 2. 1, 2. And you know what? I'm going to add a third point because I want my points looking nice here. So I'm going to count up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then right 2, 1, 2. And I'll put a point there. And that gives me 3 beautiful points that I can now plot. The more points you have, the easier it is to tell where you intersect. Okay, where you lines cross. You shouldn't be counting my points. You should be looking at your paper and counting the spaces on your graphs. I know these graphs are a little bit small. I apologize. Trying to save some paper here. Okay, so the next one, what is my starting point for my second line? What is my starting point? What is it again? Is it negative? Positive 4. So from 0, I'm going to go up to positive 4, and I'm going to put a point there. That is my starting point. Now my slope, is it positive or negative? So am I going to go up or down? Down how many? 1, 2, 3, and right how many? 1, 2. Look at that. Did I already find a point where I already crossed? Okay, so that's going to be my solution, but I'm going to go ahead and go down 3 more. And then right 2. And that's going to give me my third point. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. And I'm going to label them, okay? So for number 1, let's see if I flip it over. Y equals 5 over 2 x minus 4. And then my second one is y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 4. And my answer is this point here. Okay, so I graphed them, I labeled them, and I found my solution. But what is my solution actually? So what is the ordered pair for this point here? From 0, am I going left or right to get under it? Left or right? Left. Left is going to put me over here. Am I going left or right to get under this point? I'm going to go right. How many spaces? 2. Right? So x equals 2. Am I going to go up or down to get to that point? From here, am I going up or down? Up how many? 1. So y is 1. Right? So I'm going to write that as an ordered pair on the front side. So my solution for this ordered pair is 2, 1. X is 2, y is 1. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All we're finding is our M and our B. Let's look at number 2 really quick. We're not going to graph it, but we're going to label it. What is my M for number 2? Look at it. What is M? What is it, Andrew? It's negative 2. I like to have it in a fraction form when I'm doing slopes. So how do I make negative 2 a fraction? Put it over 1. What is my B equal for this one then? Good. Make sure that when it's just a number, you're putting it over 1. Okay, so the second one, what is my slope for the second equation? Negative 1. And what is my B? 3. Right? And then we can graph it. I'm going to let you guys graph it. Let's go ahead and look at number 7. We see number 7 there? This one is tricky, but not really. It's not in slope-intercept form, but it just tells me x equals negative 4. So when I have that, you remember your T-charts? How to graph it using a T-chart? X and Y. What does it tell me that x is always going to equal? Negative 4, right? And what are my 3 favorite numbers to use when I'm going to graph this? 1, 0, and negative 1. Okay, so now I can graph that, right? This is here. I can graph it on the other side. This one, however, is not ready for me to graph, is it? So I'm going to rewrite it over here so that I can actually solve it or turn it into slope-intercept form. I wanted to say y is equal to mx plus b. Right now it's in standard form. Correct? Yep. So how do I put this into slope-intercept form? What do I need to move first? Jordan? Not just 3. 3x. Okay. So this is positive 3x. So what's the opposite of positive 3x? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. Right? That becomes 0. What am I bringing down? What am I bringing down? Negative. Don't forget that negative. That's what's going to stump you if you don't bring it down. It'll give you a bad answer. Am I bringing down the negative 3x or the negative 8 first? Negative 3x. Remember, I wanted it in slope-intercept form. So I'm close to slope-intercept form. I want y by itself. How do I undo this negative 4y? I'm going to divide every term by negative 4. So y is now equal to what? Negative divided by negative, they both become what? Positive. So now I have 3 over 4 times x. And what is a negative divided by a negative? Again, they become positive. 8 divided by 4 is what? 2. Plus 2. So what is m now for this equation? 3 over 4. And what is my b?
2.
So now I can graph both of my equations, right? Now remember, 8, 9, and 10. 10 is really similar because you have a y equals 4. So you're going to use a t-chart. And the rest of them you want to put into slope-intercept form using our system. Okay? So if you have your steps that we have up on the board, that you have down on your notes, take those out to help you make sure you're following every step. Okay? Do you think you guys can do this now? All right. You have the rest of the period. Get to work.